Hey, this is a video that I've put a lot of thought and time and research into. I actually hesitated to even make it because I didn't want any backlash. But I do think that this needs to be said. So please watch to the end and hear what I have to say. Thanks for clicking on the video. Over the years, I've come to the place where I realize that just because something is fun or good doesn't mean that it's good or healthy for me. Likewise, just because a show or movie or game is objectively good in terms of quality does not mean that I should watch or play it. It is something that I've gone back and forth on for a long time and only now realize that the reason I was so indecisive was because I didn't want to give up on the things that weren't good for me. I enjoyed them more than I enjoyed my own health. Why say all this? What point am I trying to make? Well, I've recently watched K-pop Demon Hunters and the Devil May Cry Netflix show, and I came to a conclusion. Both of these are what I've started calling demonic propaganda. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, Merriam-Webster defines propaganda as the spreading of ideas, information, or rumor for the purpose of helping or injuring an institution, a cause, or a person. And demonic is self-explanatory, but for the sake of argument, Merriam-Webster describes demons, or daemons, spelled with an AE, as an evil spirit. So demonic propaganda is the spreading of ideas and info that will help demons or evil spirits. An example of this, I would say, is the depiction of Satan as the guy in red spandex with horns, which either promotes underestimating the horn guy or fearing the big scary evil looking dude, depending on the depiction. The way the Bible actually describes Satan is more of a biblically accurate angel, but hot. Seriously, look it up, it's in Ezekiel. But motive-wise, Satan is described as essentially wanting the death of humans, and he wants God's place for himself. So, why do I consider these two stories to be demonic propaganda? Well, both the Devil May Cry show and K-pop Demon Hunters do the same thing in different ways. Let's start with the Devil May Cry show. There are two big things I want to talk about with the Devil May Cry show. The first being, the show really wants you to feel for the demons. In the show, they are refugees from another dimension, and the message of the show is in part about an immigration crisis. I think that the story is pretty good at a base level, but my biggest problem with it is that it uses the word and the idea of demons to make them sympathetic to the audience. It goes so far as to show their demon wives and demon children. Oh, the humanity! Wait a second. And quite frankly, if you just called them aliens or fae or something, I'd be on board. And other than it no longer being an adaptation of DMC, nothing would really change. But due to the use of the word demon, it makes connections in your mind that will come up when you hear about demons in the future. Okay, let's talk about Dante. He is just the coolest, and that's a bad thing. I know how that sounds. Story-wise, it's really good, but because of what he is, it makes it a bad thing. So, spoilers, Dante is half demon, and we're just gonna slide past the confusing mess that would be a demon making a child with a mortal and just get to the point. Watching a story that portrays demons as cool will affect how you interpret them in the future. What I'm saying is these depictions will give you an inaccurate view that the story depicts as accurate. Okay, this is starting to get really confusing, so let me use an analogy. In fantasy, a sword is a sword. You know what a sword is, and it is pretty obvious when a creator is stretching the idea of what a sword can be. Just look at the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. The logical part of your brain says that this thing would work better as a blunt object than a sword. And if you see someone pull out a gun, your brain instantly says, not sword, gun. This even works across cultures. We look at a katana and we're just like, yes, sword spelled in Japanese. The reason I don't think most stretching of the definition of demons works the way it does with swords is because there isn't a concrete definition of what demon actually is. We can't look at something like a demon in media and instantly say if it is accurate or inaccurate, like we can with a sword. I mean, if you studied it like some weird YouTube guy, maybe you can, but the average person can't. With this analogy in mind, let's now look at K-pop Demon Hunters. So the main character is the child of a human and a demon. Again? Okay, moving past the demon love stories. We're just gonna slide past it. It never happened. So, using our sword analogy, it also wants you to feel sympathy for demons, but it goes about it in a different way here. It uses romance. No escaping it, huh? Well, the main character this time, Rumi, ends up in a will they won't they with the antagonist of the movie, Jinnu, who is a demon. Looks like just a normal guy, right? Well, this is also Jinnu. And this is another demon in the movie. And just for good measure, here's Dante's demon form from the Devil May Cry show. I have in parentheses, show that Power Rangers looking image. Now, let me ask you, after seeing those 3 images, what is a demon? Is there any significant overlap in all of these depictions? The only point where I think they overlap is that they're all humanoid shaped. All of this creates a confusing image of what a demon actually is and what Satan actually wants. Do demons want to destroy humans? Or befriend humans? Or something else entirely? I think that this confusion is by design. Satan is described as the author of confusion, and this unclear idea of demons seems like his MO. All of this confusion benefits demons and the demonic. Most people don't have a concrete understanding of what a demon is because of stuff like this. Demons have become just another fantasy race like elves or orcs, which dulls the senses to what is actually happening around us spiritually. Now, this doesn't mean that everything bad that happens to you is demonic, or that if something happens to you, it's because of the spiritual. But if you ignore the spiritual as a whole, you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater. We are told that our battle isn't with the physical, but with the spiritual. One of the main reasons I made this channel was because I wanted to show how my walk with the Lord affects how I see the entertainment I enjoy. And while I think that from an objective storytelling standpoint, the Devil May Cry show is pretty good and K-pop Demon Hunters is fantastic, I just can't bring myself to recommend either anymore. Not because I suddenly think they're bad, but because I think watching these will negatively impact my Christian faith and certainly those around me. K-pop Demon Hunters, specifically, has a lot of good truth in it in regards to forgiveness and redemption, but it also slides such insidious lies about the demonic in with those truths. The fact that it has good truth makes it such a great lie, and a lie that I fell for. I loved that movie, but my friend's hesitation at the movie tipped me off to something deeper, which is actually how this whole video happened. To make one thing clear, I don't think either of these stories were made with the intention of confusing their audience on what a demon is. I think that the idea of demons and the demonic has been so warped that they are basically seen in the same vein as elves or hobbits. Demons in both stories were used to challenge our perception of what is evil, which can be a good thing. But it has become pretty clear to me throughout my life that the only goal of the demonic is to make sure humans are separate from God. They are not a misunderstood good or neutral party, they are a misunderstood evil. But that's all I have for this video. I'd love to know your thoughts on the subject. I try not to take such a harsh angle with most things in my life, but I believe this is a line that I need to draw. If you made it this far and don't agree with me, I'd encourage you to take it to the Lord and really hash it out with Him. But yeah, if you're feeling like it, you can like and subscribe, maybe comment. I don't know, tell me your thoughts. Right now my goal is to get 10 whole subscribers. I just think it'd be neat. Once again, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.